I remember like thinking I grew up in Hollywood. I remember thinking Los Alamitos it wasn't the end of the world, but you could see the end of the world from Los Alamitos.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Here we are again. Talk Shit Sports, Angel Olvera, Jaime Mota, Jimmy Weed, for those of you that know. And today we have another Jim Rodriguez, best known as JRod of the JRod Experience and 5 Reasons to Bet. JRod, have you with us?
Thanks, guys. Good to be here, man. I feel like I finally made it. You have those seminal moments in your life where I'm finally working with you guys. I was Jaime's producer for such a long time. I went and got his cafecito. I went and got his laundry. And finally, I'm kind of sort of now I can take one step behind him and not 3 steps behind him, and I can look at him in the eyes. Que tremendo talento. No, one of the best. One of the best. It's a pleasure meeting you guys, Angel, and obviously hanging out with Jaime. Good stuff.
Same here, JRod. We're happy to have you here. And, Jaime is Jimmy Weed. He's got this name, Jimmy Weed. I don't know. Did you give him the name? Somebody gave him the name, he said, back in the day.
I can either confirm or deny.
Plead the fifth.
The judge said I can't talk about that stuff anymore, so we'll leave it right there.
We don't want to give the rights like the NBA logo. They don't want to give it away. So there you go, Jaime. You're good.
Yeah, that's right. There we go. And, since we have JRod, tell us a little bit about, your podcast as well, what it's about and what you're doing now with all these bets, especially now that, we're going to get into March Madness here in a minute.
Well, it's funny. I feel like I'm kind of like a Jamaican cab driver. I do a little bit of everything. I have the first podcast that I have, and I still do it. It's called JRod and the Boss Lady. And it's on YouTube.
That's right.
You can Google JRod and the Boss Lady, and that's more pop culture, fun. Boss Lady is a tremendous guanasa here in Miami, and we have a lot of fun. It's not necessarily sports. We talk cigars, gambling, lifestyle, dating, good stuff. That's a little wilder. Then I have something called the JRod Experience, which is more of a sports podcast. And then now we've ventured into the gambling world. Since I gamble so much, 5 Reasons to Bet is on the 5 Reasons Sports channel. You can go to 5reasonsports.com or look it up on Twitter, 5 Reasons Sports. And every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, we post, 5 to 10 minute video on the best bets, what's going on. And obviously, here we are on the cusp of March Madness and the NCAA tournament. So we've got plenty of stuff for you. We have our latest episode tomorrow. Wednesday, we'll have another one. And Friday, we'll have another one once the tournament starts. So a lot of good stuff because, you've got to be a good, informed sports investors. You got to find the GameStops up there of sports, and that's what we try to find.
There you go. The Bitcoins of the sports world.
No Doge, but more GameStop this time.
Actually, I showed Angel the JRod and the Boss Lady podcast.
No. Yeah, JRod. That is JRod and the Boss Lady. So
that's why it's like, wow, I feel like I know JRod. I need to be in one of those restaurants with you guys next time. We thought about doing that over here in LA.
Anytime, man. Anytime, no mask. I live in Miami, so there's no, our governor who looks like Mayor Quimby from The Simpsons. Politics aside, he's got Florida working again. It's crazy.
Man. Well, that's great because we don't have the governor anymore over here, so we got to wear masks and do those things. So we're headed to Florida, Jimmy.
That's it. I got my little, por si los flies, so we're ready.
There you go. So, you mentioned it, and we have March Madness coming up. I love March Madness, ever since I was, before college, but in college, I used to skip class. Yeah. Actually, and get together with my friends to start watching March Madness on Thursday. Get together, in the morning, bring donuts, milk, whatever, and just watch an entire day of basketball. That first weekend, it's great. I used to love hearing we have an upset in the making and stuff like that. And they would go to different venues. So let's talk a little March Madness.
Okay.
Out here, obviously on the West Coast, the big dog, no pun intended, is Gonzaga. Obviously, number 1 overall. undefeated. The last undefeated national champion, Indiana, 75-76. I don't know if the Zags are going to be able to do it this time around. I don't know if Angel has any thoughts on Gonzaga or if it's all USC, UCLA.
Oh, wait. Gonzaga, whatever they Zag, whatever they are, they're up there. I think when Spokane by somewhere, Washington somewhere. They're great. I mean, they've always hanging. They're always there. You know, the Zags are always there. But to remain undefeated, the whole. I don't know, man. They could be upset. You never know. March Madness playing. You know, now we have replacement teams, right? We have teams that are on standby right now, hoping somebody gets COVID, which is kind of crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, that could throw the whole thing off. One Zag gets positive and they're gone. I mean, we don't. That could eliminate somebody. Imagine that.
We had a bunch of referees just tested positive in some protocols, and they all got.
I saw that. Crazy. Yeah, I saw that. You know, and as you know, Jimmy, USC, I gave all my gear away. When my son went to Stanford, I called all my family and I said, hey guys, I'm paying for this school. I'm going to go root for this school now. You know, this is what, 7, 8 years ago, whatever it was. And I gave it all away and I got tortured for that, but it is what it is. I go trees.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You know, heavy duty. Local boy makes good. Go to Stanford. That's good. You're never going to retire. You're going to work. You're going to work every day of your life from now. But and then as soon as he graduates, let's go with interest. I got to take care of you.
Absolutely. So, but I don't know. They're talking about Baylor. Alabama's another one. They're talking about Alabama might be able to. You know, I know the Zags have beat these guys, but look at you got the Illini.
You talk about painting yourself in a corner. I mean, they're very good, clearly, to be the number 1 overall seed and undefeated. But boy, to have all that collateral going into the tournament, and if you lose one game, it doesn't matter whether you lose in the first round or you lose in the championship game. You know, it's kind of like what happened to the Patriots. You know, nobody remembers that they went undefeated in the regular season as they lost that last game. So I think it'll be it'll be interesting. Some teams need motivation. You know what I mean? I think when you're that good, you have to find things to motivate you. And I think that's what Gonzaga is probably going to use is, hey, nobody thinks we can do it, even if it's not true. And you start just inventing and pushing ways to be there. And this is a great carrot to have, to be the first undefeated since the Hoosiers back in 76. I think that's what you need when you're this good, because it's got to be child's play for them. I mean, obviously they play in a weak conference, and I appreciate that even though they play out on the West Coast too late at night where half the country doesn't see them, and they get recognized like this, you need that carrot. And this may be it for them. And it's funny, Gonzaga is plus 200 to win the NCAA tournament. I'm sure it's going down. So you're going to double your money if you bet on Gonzaga. But what I like, because we're still a ways out before the games start, I like the props. And one of the cool things is obviously the number 1 seeds are Michigan, Baylor, Illinois, and Gonzaga. Those are the number 1 seeds. So
I'm surprised, Jimmy. I'm surprised that Michigan kept that number 1 seed, right? Because they lost, like their last 2 regular season games, and then they lost in the semis of the Big Ten champion tournament. So I'm surprised they're actually a number 1 seed.
Who's going to say no to Juwan Howard? Are you going to say no to him? I'm not going to say no to him.
That's true.
And clearly, there's some college football influence in the committee. We got to get a big name. We got to get a big school. We got a big high profile school. But there's a great prop that said, what number 1 seed will be knocked out first? That's a great prop. You can find. What number 1 seed will be knocked out first? Michigan is sort of the favorite to get knocked out.
I would think so.
Plus 150, and Baylor plus 200. Illinois plus 300, and Gonzaga is the long shot plus 500, 5-1. If you think Gonzaga will be the first, I think it's going to be Baylor. I think Baylor's going to get knocked out first, even though they're sexy, everything like that. I mean, they've got North Carolina, probably Villanova waiting for them.
Yeah,
I think it's Baylor. I mean, it's not easy for Michigan. They'll play either Georgetown, maybe Florida State, but I'm going to go with Baylor. If I was a betting man, and I am, I'm going to go with Baylor being the first number 1 seed getting knocked out.
Oh, yeah. You mentioned Georgetown, and there's always the 5-12 thing. Always a number 12 beats a number 5. I love Georgetown as a number 12 beating a number 5. This one would be Colorado. But, there's others also that really, really intrigue me as far as a 5-12. UCSB, beating Creighton, I think that's a good possibility as well. And then
you've struggled. I went to Creighton.
I know.
So I'm already suffering enough from that loss to Georgetown, which, by the way, plus 600 Georgetown to win the Big East tournament. Cha-ching.
Oh,
nice.
Plus 600, we got that.
Patrick Ewing there, huh? He won the tournament.
I guess they know who Patrick Ewing is now at Madison Square Garden, right?
They better know now.
They're asking him for credentials. Who are you? What are you doing here? Wait, look, see that?
Yeah, look up there.
That's me. No, Creighton's not losing to the Gauchos. I'm sorry. With all love in Santa Barbara, they're not losing to the Gauchos.
The only good thing Santa Barbara's got going for them is the Fiestas in August. So, just happy they made the conference.
Creighton's going to the Sweet 16.
My daughter goes to UCSB. My daughter's a Gaucho, so
that's why you got to go for the Gauchos.
Of course, I
want to know how she sold you that, Dad. I want to go to Santa Barbara for school.
Yeah, one of the biggest party schools.
Better yet, why don't you actually not Arizona State instead? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Actually, she got into Arizona State.
I'm noticing the trend. I'm seeing it.
Yeah. San Diego,
and then you get the guy that went to Miami here,
right? Jimmy Weed's family, igualito padre. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And listen to this. Okay, so maybe if you don't like the UCSB Creighton one, how about the other one? How about Tennessee and Oregon State? Oregon State has been playing well. I mean, they beat Oregon in the Pac-12 conference tournament. That's another 5-12 that could mess a few brackets up as well.
I think that there comes a time when you need when coaching when it comes to the tournament, it's hard when you're doing with college sports because these kids have never been here before. So you got to go with the coaches and you got to go with the experience. How do they handle it? How do they prepare? So I'm going to go with experienced coaches. So I like Tennessee in that matchup. I think, and plus I only have room in my life for one upset, and that's Georgetown. Georgetown's the one. Getting 4.5 against Colorado, and they play early on Friday. Here's a little tip: early games in tournaments, 99% of the time, well, not 99, but casi, always go with the under. I don't know if these kids aren't awake yet.
Yep.
It's a noon start, so Georgetown
and noon for the East Coast team.
East Coast,
right?
Colorado West.
Wow.
You got a Colorado team. That's like 11, 10 in the morning. I know they've had time to adapt.
The Republic of Boulder,
I like early tournament games. I always like unders. That's a little pro tip for it. Always, and I think it's 138 last time I saw was the under. Plus, I went big. I went Georgetown plus 4.5 under parlay. So, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Now, what other good and fun prop bets do we have for
one of the things that I love is buzzer beaters. Now, it seems like we always have there's always at least one, right?
Yep.
Well, in 1981, there was 3 buzzer beaters, and I'm talking about the whole tournament, not just a region. I'm talking about the whole tournament, beginning to end. In 1981, there was 3. 1990, there was 3. 2016, there was 4 buzzer beaters, including the national championship game. I remember Villanova, they were tied and the guy hit the buzzer beater to win the game and win the national championship. So there was 4. So there is a prop that says, how many buzzer beaters will we have in the tournament? Well, 2 buzzer beaters is plus 700, 7-1. 3 is 12-1. 4 is 20-1. 5 is 40. 6 is 50-1. I don't think you're going to have that. I think 3 is your number. I think there will be 3 buzzer beaters. And there's a little bit of a wrinkle. I don't know how much it'll be in play, but remember, the entire tournament is being played in Indianapolis. There's no travel. So they're playing in like 6 or 7 different arenas in the city of Indianapolis. So
that must be interesting as well.
They're gonna play, at Lucas Oil. They're gonna play where the Pacers play. They're gonna play in all their little arenas all over the town. So it's all in Indianapolis. It's like one giant bubble to avoid travel. So there won't be as much fatigue, I think, traveling and getting used to time zones and arenas and stuff like that. But I think 3 sounds like a good number. At 12-1, I'll take it. I'll take 12-1. Put $10 up there.
12-1.
With so many teams, all in Indianapolis, can you imagine if actually there is a COVID breakout?
Oh, it's over.
Oh, Dios mío. I mean, the NCAA is just going to be pulling their hair out.
Right? And why Indianapolis? I mean, I guess.
Well, that's where the NCAA is based,
right?
You know,
right.
And the powers that be, just like FIFA, just like the IOC. You know, the NCAA is another one of those murky institutions.
I'll look at it. You had to, and with all due respect to Indianapolis, you had to pick a non-fun town, right? I mean,
they should have just went to the bubble in Orlando over there where the NBA was.
With all due respect to St. Elmo's, because everyone has to have a steak and shrimp and a shrimp cocktail at St. Elmo's in Indianapolis. There isn't much to do, so I don't think you're going to miss it. Like, you wouldn't have it in Miami, you wouldn't have it in LA, because people, you wouldn't have people going out to the strip joint to get some hot wings, or anything like that.
Hello, Atlanta.
Hello, Atlanta. That's why the NBA, when they had the thing in the bubble, I was, what, Atlanta of all people? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, está bien. But
he had a family emergency, right? He had to go to
a funeral, so the Clippers let him go, and then my man is at a strip joint, and then somebody takes a picture of him. Well, I came here for the wings.
Yeah.
Well, he goes and gets wings all the time there. He says, he goes. He always went through the drive-through. He said to get the wings.
Or Magic City drive-through. He went to the
Magic City drive-through.
Hey, I mean, I don't know. I mean, strip joints must have come a long way since I used to go, because they never had any good food when I was a strip. There's a bag of Fritos in the vending machine. Exact change.
Exactly.
We're gonna ask Jimmy. Jimmy, single life. Jimmy, how's the food at the strip clubs lately? Jimmy,
You know what? COVID. Soy inocente.
Tomahawk steaks. That's all I gotta say. I mean, down here in South Florida, there's a place called Monroe's, and they don't pay me. They should. Get a tomahawk steak. You've got these fine steakhouses that are in the middle of strip joints. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's only in Florida do you have that.
That's insane.
Right?
I mean, God knows that they're going to be dishing out money. A tomahawk steak? Ah, bueno.
There we go. Money.
Wings and a steak.
That's it.
You can't beat it. So, I mean, you're looking at UCLA, BYU. They're talking about BYU. If they make the Sweet 16, they're going to have to move things around the schedule or something. You hear about that?
No. What happened? Is it a Mormon thing?
Maybe. Who knows?
You got to wear the underwear doesn't work.
You got to wear the garment.
You can't do it. Whoa. Half the team's going to get married in Indianapolis, I guess.
But you're talking about UCLA. How about UCLA, Michigan State? As a play-in game?
That sounds like a
my God
game, right?
Yeah.
When I saw that come up, I was like, wait a minute, what? Michigan State, UCLA as a play-in game to play BYU.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What?
Well, again, this is the tournament that doesn't have Kentucky, that doesn't have Duke. So
right. Indiana.
So you've got to sort of come up with something. We got to put some blue bloods in there. We got to put some royalty in there. And why not? I mean,
well, I guess the if BYU wins, they're changing the dates because of the Sunday or Saturday. I don't know if it's the Mormon thing. I guess.
Because they don't play on Sunday.
Yeah.
Is that it?
What in the name of Chick-fil-A is going on around here?
I don't know what's going on around here. They got some power, though.
I'm going to eat some Chick-fil-A and watch BYU on Sunday. There.
There you go. You wear a garment when you do it, too.
That's it. I'm going to wear my underwear.
And Coke. Drink a Diet Coke because they own they own most of Coca-Cola.
Great.
Yeah, but they can't have caffeine.
Yeah, but they own Coke.
Speaking of which, a little coffee here.
Yeah, so
I better be careful of people from Miami watching this. Coca-Cola, not Coke.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh.
I'll be back.
Like LA, Miami? What's going on here?
All right. Okay. We're good.
They're like,
Miami's the only place where the men's bathroom is longer than the women's bathroom. That's the difference.
Oh, you gotta love Miami, right?
I got a quick story for you. I got a buddy of mine. He's an old timer. He used to party in the '70s, Studio 54, and he used to tell me that when you go to the club, you used to go to in New York City, instead of bottle service, you'd ask for coffee service. And
coffee service.
The woman would come out with one of those like Folgers cans of coffee, full of cocaine, and they would just blop on the top of the table, and everybody, Scarface, Tony Montana style, would just
hello to my little friend.
That's the coffee service.
That's what the quebradito clubs look like here in the bathroom here in LA. You just see a pound of it.
I remember going to the Palace in Hollywood, and after hours, and they'd give you the water bottles, and the water bottles were full of vodka. You know what I mean? You paid $20 for a bottle of water, but then you realize. First time I discovered that, I was like, oh, man.
The crazy thing, after hours. That's funny you mentioned that in Palace. I haven't heard that in years.
Yeah, LA kid.
Oh, definitely.
See, I used to do that for concerts. Shh, don't let my kids hear. But I used to like empty half a 2 liter bottle of whatever.
She already heard. Santa Barbara. Yeah, secrets out, buddy. Secrets out.
You empty half the 2 liter bottle, let's say, of 7-Up or Sprite, whatever, and then you put in the vodka and you take it into the venue and close it. They're like, hey, it's all good, or vodka infused watermelon, leave that overnight.
We used to go to this garage. Literally, it was a garage in Culver City, and it was an after hours club. So you'd park this, so nobody could tell all these cars because it was a garage. So there'd be tons of cars there. And I remember partying with the guy from Swingers, the boy named Sue, the guy that was mad at everybody.
Yeah.
Partying with him at an after hours club, sitting me in a corner, wouldn't let me go, telling me he wrote Swingers and they took it away from him and he put him in there. And I was like, oh, brother, let's have another 15 minutes.
But that's LA for you. LA, you could be in a garage back. It happened to me. We were at a get together in Toluca Lake.
Mm-hmm.
This is years ago. And the guy from the Karate Kid, the guy Cobra Kai, what's his name? Johnny. Johnny.
Johnny.
Right. So we're there. We're having, we're kicking back, and then one of my buddies with me, he's like, "Hey, man," he tells him, "I know you, bro," and he's like, "Yeah, what high school did you go to? I think I went to high school with you." And they're laughing because the girl that had the party, she already knew. He didn't know him. He's from back somewhere else.
Right.
That he knows him from the Karate Kid. But he thought he went to high school with the guy. It was hilarious. Everyone was laughing. Like,
I'm sure that guy gets it all the time, man.
Now he's blowing up. Cobra Kai's blowing up.
Wait a minute. Don't I know you? San Fernando High School or something?
Yeah. Like, no, he did not grow up in San.
Ass kicked by that skinny dude in Encino. You know where that?
Yeah. Like that. Like, hey, bro, that guy did not go to San Fernando High School, bro. He didn't grow up in that area. He's from like Indiana or somewhere.
Yeah. And all these dudes were like 35 when they were making the movie.
Yeah. That was so funny, man. That's hilarious.
So, Jimmy, you were in Dallas this past weekend, working the Chocolatito-Estrada fight. First of all,
fight of the year, right?
Amazing. I mean, what a fight. We knew going in that these guys were just going to go at it toe to toe. I don't think they really needed a referee for that fight because, these guys were just going to start throwing punches left and right. What was that like, first of all, Jimmy?
It's a shame because they only had about, even though Dallas is open, it was too late. So they had maybe about 4,000 or 5,000 people because they played in the American Airlines Center where the Mavericks play.
Right.
So they had about 4,000, 5,000 people there. And you could see as each round went by, it was building and building. And these two dudes in the center of the ring just wailing on each other nonstop. There was no strategy. There was no clinching. There was no hugging. And you're right. The referee could have just pulled up a stool and said, "I'll let you know when the round's over." Two professionals, such respect. I mean, I've never seen a fight like that. I learned boxing from Jaime. I covered a lot of boxing with Jaime, and he kind of held my hand and walked me through everything. And so I learned from Jaime, and I've never seen a fight like that. You and I have seen some great fights together.
Yes,
this was instant classic. Two absolute warriors, and I finally understood when they say that these dudes are warriors. I mean, you could just tell these guys love it. These guys literally blood, sweat, and tears come out there. And then to hear Gallo Estrada after the fight tell us, "Hey, man, I thought it was a draw." I mean, I've never seen such honesty. I mean, it's easy. It's easy to say that when you won. I get it.
Exactly.
I get it. But to sit there and say, "I thought it was a draw. Let's do it again." I mean, he's got Rung Vasai as his next guy, but he's like, I'll do Chocolatito again. And it's just a shame that, it's being marred. It's got a black eye because of the referee, of the judge, because again, to have these guys put on such a classic fight. I mean, it's easily fight of the year. And you could just see it build and build round by round. And then when it was done and the final bell rang and they hugged, the whole arena exploded. I mean, it sounded like there was 35,000 people in there. I mean, it was such a great fight and such good for boxing, because boxing gets a lot of crap and it deserves it. It deserves it. But this is why people fall in love with boxing. I mean, I encourage anybody to see it again, watch it again, and you'll fall in love with boxing.
It's these two guys, they're what? Super flyweights, I believe, 115 pounds.
114.
114, yeah, well, under the limit of 115. But another thing that really pisses me off is that these guys who give us great fights, great entertainment, they don't get paid what they're supposed to be paid. I mean, for God's sakes, Avni Yildirim 3 weeks ago, whenever he fought Canelo, made $2.5 million for doing absolutely nothing.
Right.
Nothing. And these guys didn't make $1 million a piece. Are you kidding me? Come on.
I will say this. I will never hate anybody for making money. And I've always said this, and it's not, this is what capitalism brings you. And I'm not being a socialist or anything like that, but you're paid what somebody will pay you. You're worth what somebody will pay you. And I hope now we start paying more attention to the little guys, because again, the heavyweights are always going to be sexy, but the heavyweights haven't been sexy for a while. We like the 135s. We like, obviously the middleweights are the kings of boxing right now, the 160s, the 168s, but the little guys, I mean, it's just war. I mean, it's Mexican style, middle of the ring. You can even cut the ring in half. These guys literally fought in a phone booth. To hurt.
Look it up, millennials. Look it up.
Yeah. I mean,
Google it.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So, I mean, I hope there's interest in it now. I hope, we can get more interest in the little guys. I think it sounds terrible, but I think when you see Gallo Estrada or when you see Chocolatito, you're like, whose kid is this? Anybody? Hey, somebody get on this PA. Somebody's kid is lost here. But then to see these guys fight, it's amazing. I hope so. I hope they get there. It'd be great to see them headline a pay-per-view or anything like that down the road. Again, they're trailblazers.
I think the little guys, though, the thing about people is they want to see the knockouts, right? They want to see the guys go down, and that's why the little guys beat the hell out of each other, but they don't knock each other out. And the people they want to see that knockdown and that's probably the reason
you want to see.
No, but these guys do knock each other out. I mean,
but they spring right back up.
So Rumbisai absolutely knocked the hell out of Chocolatito, whenever they fought the first time around. It was incredible. I mean, Chocolatito was absolutely out and done. And this fight took place the same 28 years, I believe, almost to the day of the first Michael Carvajal, Chiquita Gonzalez fight, who are the original little guys that really, brought those weight divisions to the forefront. I mean, those guys, if you look at that fight, which, by the way, we have on our page on Talk Shit Sports on Instagram, you can see it. It was a 7-round fight. Chiquita Gonzalez, for the most part, was having the better part of Michael Carvajal. And then Michael Carvajal just came in and boom, mole, and he was done. Right. I mean, incredible. And that's the type of fight that we get with the little guys.
Like Barrera and Morales, like those guys.
Exactly.
I mean, they beat the hell out of each other but I don't know. I just think the people like the sports, the world, the big fans in the U.S., they want to see the knockouts, those knockdowns and power.
And I think also, and I think a lot of us are, we think we're athletes. We think we can play a sport, or we think we can do this. How many times did we ever hear, I'd go in there with a round with Mike Tyson or second.
Yeah, right.
So when you see a little dude like Chocolatito or a little dude like Estrada, you think, whatever, man. I mean, I was drawn to sports because anybody that can do something that I can't, I admire. And so it takes something you learn when you see the little guys boxing, that they're amazing guys. I mean, and by the way, it was marred by the judges' scorecard. How did you have it, Jaime? Who did you have winning the fight?
Actually, I had Chocolatito 115, 113. It wasn't any any wider. That margin couldn't have been any wider for either side. I was okay with the 115, 113 for Gallo Estrada. I also could have seen it 114, 114. But then when I heard 117, 111, regardless of who they gave it to, I was like, ¿Qué carajos está viendo este tipo? I'm like, I had no idea. I mean, honestly, was he like, with his back to the ring? I just don't understand. One guy.
Something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Was he Andy Reid?
It was dazed and confused. Maybe it was dazed and confused. Yeah.
I mean, give me a break. 9 rounds to 3. He only gave Chocolatito 3 rounds the entire fight, just like the other way around. You couldn't give Gallo Estrada only 3 rounds. So, and so this guy, Carlos Sucre, I believe his name is. So the WBA.
Florida man.
Florida. See, that explains it. A Florida guy, with a dubious decision in Texas.
Oh, yeah. There's some conspiracy there.
Perfect.
But
well, I mean, speaking of heavyweights, what they got Fury and Joshua, they just signed a 2-fight deal or whatever. They didn't even give Wilder another shot. They just 2 fights.
I think that's what everybody wants. That's where the money. It's one of the few times in boxing that you actually get the fight you want to see.
Don't underestimate Ruiz though. Ruiz can come in there and knock one of those. He's working with Eddie Reynoso right now, right?
Yeah, that's right. I just did something for the pay-per-view April 24th between Andy Ruiz and Chris Arriola. That's going to be, another Mexican against Mexican. That's not lasting past 6 rounds, in my opinion.
Andy Ruiz is he's got talent. If he's disciplined, the way he boxes as a heavyweight.
If I think he'll put on a show because it's the first fight. Just like he did. He got his lottery ticket against Anthony Joshua, and I think what a lot of people it was such a perfect storm when Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua. Number one, Anthony Joshua didn't take the fight seriously. He came to Miami to train for a fight in New York. Come on, bro. He came to Miami to train for a fight
from England
in New York. Yeah. And I think and again, I'm not making any excuse.
He was at Tootsie's half the time.
Right?
Yeah.
The fact that Andy Ruiz hit Joshua in the ear and he knocked him off his balance. Because you could see Andy Ruiz trying to plant you could see Joshua trying to plant his foot during that fight, and he couldn't. And I think he realized at that point, I didn't prepare. This dude's a lot faster than anybody thought.
Yep.
Knocked this dude on his ass, and he got right back up. I'm screwed. I'm going to stay in the corner. I'm going to get my rematch, and I'm going to win my title back. And he did. And Andy Ruiz, predictably, decided to get fat and rich and wasn't prepared for that last fight. And I think now he realizes, okay, I need to pay off the mortgages on those California houses that I just bought. So let me pretend to be a boxer again.
Right.
Plus the Bentley
he had a splurge.
and the G-Wagon.
I think he splurged his money. But the thing is, the second fight, and he flew all the way to Saudi Arabia. The guy he beat him, but not really. I mean, if you look at he should have killed Ruiz. Him.
I think Anthony Joshua realized there's 2 things. And I think Anthony Joshua has got a glass jaw. That's why everybody thinks Fury is going to beat him. And Anthony Joshua has a glass jaw. So I think he realized this dude is too fast for me. And I can't sit there and go toe to toe. So I'm going to box with the guy. I'm going to Mayweather him. And that's what he did.
That's what he did, yeah.
And bam, 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 10-9. Bam, 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 10-9. I think only once, I think if that fight in Saudi Arabia, I think the 7th or 8th round.
The 8th round.
Joshua got a little excited and he started, and Andy caught him. And Joshua said, whoa.
And then it was back on the bicycle again for Anthony Joshua. And a little bit more dancing,
Right.
Come on, Ruiz was probably riding camels at the club in Saudi Arabia. Who knows what he was doing out there?
He knew something was up when he wouldn't take his shirt off at all during the whole time he was there. He wouldn't take it. He had that black tight medium, Millard shirt. He wouldn't take it off because I would see him. He was like 30 pounds over, the guy I felt bad for is Manny Robles, because Manny Robles got like a first wife after you have a blonde secretary, and now all of a sudden, Brees is with Eddie Reynoso, who's the king of all trainers right now, and Manny Robles is, back doing his thing again. But I hope Manny got paid. I hope Manny got his thing from that 2-fight deal, and people need to really realize what a good trainer.
Hopefully, man, he got him. Maybe they bought him a rancho in Indio. He was out there in Indio, so
I hope so, man.
Yeah,
Manny got his kids too. His kids are fighting now too, right?
That's right. Manny Jr. is fighting. He's doing well, and Manny Robles is a good guy. He really is a good guy. He had Dominic Brazil. He's had a bunch of fighters as well who have left for greener pastures.
Right. And that's the story of Manny Robles. Like, he builds them, they have success, and then they leave him. Now, what does that say about him? What does that say about just Mala Suerte? I don't know. But you're glad for Manny Robles. Kind of like Abel Sanchez is in that role now too. All of a sudden,
exactly.
Nobody.
Manny Robles had Oscar Valdez as well.
Yeah.
And Oscar Valdez is now with a Reynoso.
It was like when everybody was flocking to Freddie Roach too. Everybody was going to Freddie Roach. He was a hot ticket.
Right.
I mean, but Canelo stayed loyal with Eddie Reynoso. Look what's blew him up.
Yeah. Eddie's on another level as a trainer, man. Eddie's on another level. And he's a good dude, He's a good dude. Really down to earth.
Quick question. I mean, did they announce where the Canelo fight's going to be? Is it going to be in Vegas?
Not yet. It's either in Vegas at Allegiant Stadium or at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, home of the Cowboys. So it's either or. So start getting ready. We're going to go to Dallas or Vegas.
The problem is, or not the problem is, Texas said, we're open. 80,000 people. Vegas isn't open yet. So it's going to be, from a money perspective.
They need to know soon.
Well, I know they just opened the pool parties. I was there this last weekend. I was in Vegas, and the pool parties open. The line was out the door at the hotel. I was like, what's going on here? It was ridiculous. So they just opened up today, I believe, or yesterday, more stuff in Vegas. But I flew in, man. That Allegiant Stadium is ready to rock and roll. The lights were on. I mean, they need to have an event there. They're waiting. That would be amazing.
Just tell the Raiders that.
The Raiders.
The Traders.
The Traders.
Maybe somebody will win in Allegiant Stadium. Can
you believe my Uber driver was from the Bay Area, grew up, born and raised, 49er fan, and he tells me, I got to go for the Raiders now. I live here. And I said, oh, my God. I was like, so if the Dodgers moved here, you'd be a Dodger fan? No, I'm a Giants fan. Oh, well, I don't understand. I was like, man, they're jumping ship in Vegas.
I'm shocked that they actually built a stadium there, because if I was a casino owner, I don't want people anywhere but in my casino. I don't want them 3-5 hours away from my casino. But
well, the funny part is that there's no tailgating around there, so they have to tailgate at the Mandalay. They're building a little bridge to walk across. So somebody's going to make Mandalay's got their hand in everything.
Well, there's what the hotels are planning is to fly people in,
right?
Take them to the hotel, have them go pre-party or tailgate at the hotel. They take them to the stadium. They pick them up back to the hotel. A little bit more gambling,
sure,
and then then they take them to the airport. I mean, it's a whole new thing now. You don't even have to. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like they keep building a stadium. T-Mobile. Now they're taking it away from T-Mobile to the new Allegiant Stadium. the MGM Grand. Remember the Mandalay Bay fights outdoors.
At Caesars.
Out of Caesar's Palace, yeah.
Caesar's Palace. Right. I mean, those are like, even going to MGM Grand, it's a small little arena, but that's like when you walk in there, you feel that like how many fights were in this arena. It's like I went to the Pacquiao fight there a couple years ago, the last one he said was going to have, and it's just walking in that venue is like it's just a whole different vibe there. It's pretty cool. It's different than T-Mobile. T-Mobile, I went to Canelo fight con, and it was like there's a lot of things going on. It's like very, I don't know, it's just different.
No ambiance.
It's like Cowboy Stadium. They have a Victoria's Secret in there. You go to the football game, you're like Victoria's Secret in the Cowboy Stadium. I'm used to going to the Coliseum here in LA. First you got to survive to get in the stadium. You got to risk your life, and then hopefully you risk your life inside the stadium. For the game, and then you have to risk your life to go home after that too. So there's a lot of excitement.
I remember going to games and events at the sports arena right next to the.
Oh yeah.
And you'd have between the smell of piss, blood, and the rats trying to eat whatever food you got. You'd walk in, some rat would be waiting for you, like, yo, you're splitting that with me, right? Like, okay.
Now it's LAFC. Now it's LAFC. That's the ground right there.
That's right.
Speaking of LA stadiums, did you go to the Olympic Auditorium for the fights back in the day?
Oh yeah. I used to go there for wrestling and for some boxing, man.
That was by my old school, LA Trade Tech. You know, I'm an alumni, LA Trade Tech.
Nice. I think they made a documentary of the Olympic Auditorium.
Yes, I think they did. Yeah.
I don't know if that building is it still there. I haven't been there.
I think it's there, but is it a church? It's always a church.
It's a church.
It's always
a church now.
Church.
Yeah.
It's always a church. The Forum became a church, and now it's back to being the Forum again. I think Madison Square Garden bought the building. So
they just sold it to the Clippers owner. I think he bought it.
That's right. They're gonna build the new arena there for the Clippers.
I went to a couple concerts at the Forum. It's a great venue for concerts. I went to Drake and the Migos, and I went to Maná. That was I went to it was buddy of mine's birthday, but the concert venue is great there. It's in Inglewood. It's hard to get in and out, you know. I remember back in the day, we'd go to Inglewood to the Lakers games, and people would come out, and there'd be bricks on the cars would be on bricks, like, you know.
By the time you got to the arena, that your car's already ransacked.
Yeah, I mean,
my dad would be like, "This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna leave $20 on the windshield, and say, listen, take the $20 and leave the car alone." Mercado. Just here's a 50 and just take the 50 and just leave the car alone. Okay.
And then you're driving down Manchester.
Prepaid. It was the beginning of prepaid vandalism. Here it is. There you go. Don't mess with my car.
You're safer parking at those people's houses that say, you know, $20 park right here. Like, all right.
No blocking.
No blocking. You especially want to leave early. Like all the Dodger fans, they want to beat the traffic, you know, leave early. So,
you know what? We were going to talk about other boxers, but I forgot, you know, this past weekend as well, Marvelous Marvin Hagler passed away. Yeah. One of the greatest of all times. I got to meet him in Canastota, New York for the Boxing Hall of Fame, International Boxing Hall of Fame there, when Julio Cesar Chavez was inducted. So, you know, it was Mike Tyson was there. Great, you know, for a boxing geek like me. It was an incredible time. You know, got to shake hands with Hagler, but you know, up to today, the 3 best minutes in boxing were that first round against Tommy Hearns. I don't think that will ever be replicated. I mean, these guys came out and just wailed at each other. You know, something that wasn't sustainable for 12 rounds. But my God, that is, you know, one of the best things. If you're not a boxing fan, Google it, go to YouTube, look up Marvin Hagler against Tommy Hearns.
Yeah, and I just remember the announcer saying, and I forget who it was, if it was Tim Ryan or something. I remember him saying at the end of it, something we were all thinking. And this is the first round.
Yes.
I mean, the dudes threw it. I don't know how they fought the rest of the fight. I mean, I don't know how they had any energy yet. I mean, they just wail and they both. I mean, Jaime, how do you score that fight? How do you score that round? I mean, was that a 9-9, a 10-10?
Yeah, I don't know. It was. They were both bleeding. They were both bleeding, going to their corners. I mean, it was an incredible round. I mean, it didn't last much longer after that. You know. It was, you know, Tommy Hearns got knocked out. I believe it was the 3rd round. I mean, he was gassed. But wow, that was, you know, that's when guys would fight whoever they needed to fight. And if they lost, they'd do it again. None of this, oh, you know what? I don't want to fight with him now. You know, I'm going to wait a year. Oh, no, you know.
It's like, it was like Mayweather and Pacquiao. It was 5 years too late.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and guys would fight 5 or 6 times a year.
Well, you have like Earl Spence and Crawford. That should be a fight right now. Like that should be Hagler and Hearns, Ray Leonard. You know, those guys have a fight right now. But
and I think that's why MMA became so much more popular than boxing, and I think it's still much more popular than boxing because the guys don't last very long in MMA, but you always get to see the fight you want to see. I mean, if there's a guy who's doing, or a woman who's doing really, really well and going like this, you're going to see them fight the next hot prospect in less than 3 months. There's no waiting. There's no, mandatory. Oh, I got to fight this guy. Oh, no, I'm going to wait a year. Oh.
Or the promoter doesn't want to fight the other guy because he's with another promoter, whatever.
Politics.
I mean, UFC, it's all ruled by Dana White, basically, no matter what.
So Masvidal, you saw him fight who you needed him to fight. You want him to fight Usman? Boom, there it is. You want to see
they're fighting again.
They're in. Yeah, in Jacksonville.
Full fans, right? Full fans, I think.
It's going to be the first event in Florida that's full 100% capacity.
Wow,
that's crazy. Well, talking about boxing, I mean, I think now we got to close out with the NFL, right? There's a lot of things going on in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Brees retiring.
Well, you knew that was going to happen. I mean,
we saw him, Jimmy. We saw him on the video working in the parking lot, pushing that thing in the parking lot in LA somewhere. What was he doing?
That's right. I don't know. He was trying to impress his kids. I don't know who. By the way, his kids are the ones that came on with the video and said, each one said, "Finally, my dad is retiring to be with us more, the rest of the time." That was great. That's a great way of announcing your retirement, having your kids say it, but we knew that was going to happen. I mean, the last couple of years, Brees has been hurt. His arm strength wasn't there. He sort of reminded me of Manning, towards the end of his career, where basically his arm was just like a wet noodle. He didn't have any strength, which is, crazy because I said the same thing about Tom Brady, and he just signed an extension with the Bucs along with Gronk. So they're going to be back at least one more year. If not two for
listen,
for Tom Brady.
It makes sense. It makes it, again, by no means am I saying that Tom Brady is a system quarterback. He's clearly the best quarterback ever. But I don't care who you are. You need to have the pieces around you. And the pieces just weren't there for him in New England. And he found an opportunity, in Tampa. He went to an organization and a coach who said, okay, this is what we need. This is how we're going to do it. This is what we're going to put Tom in the best position to win. In fact, he actually pushed Tom a little bit because Arians wanted him to air it out a little bit more. Throw the ball deep. Let's go. And he almost, because Brady had gotten so used to this sort of
dinks and dunks, the
firing that Belichick had created. And it's hard to argue with all the success they had. But I think it sort of reinvigorated Tom Brady. And having weapons, And by the way, clearly Belichick or Bob Kraft got his stimulus check because my man went and spent it all on all these free agents. So,
Yeah, but you know what?
You're too late.
If you look at the
his
name,
buddy in Mar-a-Lago got him a little nice SBA loan or something,
Right.
But you know what?
They were getting a massage together there,
Beach. That's something I don't even want to put in my head.
Glass, COVID protection. Oh, no, COVID, Florida, right? Just curtain.
Oh, good.
But listen, he did spend that stimulus check, but he went to the 99-cent store. The 99-cent store. Jesus Christ, did you look at all the names that I'm like, a ver, ¿quién es este? Who's this? Who's that? The only guy that I sort of Jewed on, from the Ravens, and then Nelson Aguilar, who also signed with the Patriots. But I don't know.
You guys, I don't know about you, but I've had some pain in the ass bosses in my life. But did you? You always felt
really? Like, you and I have been at the same places.
Che.
Wait a minute.
Che, boludo. But I think it's one of those. Does Belichick keep a little bit if he's under the cap? Does he keep that money because he doesn't pay anybody? They don't sign anybody. So Belichick says, "Listen, what's my budget? Okay, if I'm 20% under, I keep that 20%, right?" So it's just weird. But he had so much success with it,
right?
It's hard to argue. So yeah, I'll sign the greeter from Walmart, and he'll catch 35 passes, score a couple of touchdowns, and we win the Super Bowl. But
that's if you look at the Patriots, they always win by one touchdown. It's always like Brady never makes a mistake and he wins the Super Bowl by one touchdown, or he loses by one, and because he has okay players around him, but he won't make a mistake. Tom Brady won't make that mistake at the end of the game. And I don't know. It looks like Belichick is on Amazon adding to his cart, like bam, bam players. And he just, he had a cart ready and just submitted the whole order.
I believe in the last decade, they spent like $300 and something million in free agency. The day that it opened up this week, they spent over $150 million in one day. You're like, Epa, ¿qué pasó? Where's this coming from?
I think Belichick is now, not that Belichick, I don't think he cares publicly about what people think of him, but I think for him to sort of let Brady go and Brady goes out and wins the Super Bowl, and he doesn't even make the playoffs, and he's not even the best team in his own division. He's the third best team in his own division.
Yep.
I think there is something there that he needs to prove, and I think a driven Bill Belichick could be pretty scary. I mean, again, is it too late? Because the Bills are clearly the best team in that division. The Dolphins,
and they just lost. They just lost Fitzmagic. He went to Washington. He went to Washington.
Maybe he'll bring some calming influence. Maybe all that chest hair will bring some calming influence in Washington, because that place is crazy. You talk about a crazy work environment. I mean, crazy.
Washington's is gonna win the NFC least. Watch with Fitzmagic. Cowboys are going to be.
Well, again, if you're trying to make the playoffs, I don't know if Fitzpatrick's the guy. He's never been in the playoffs. He's never made the playoffs.
Well, they're in the NFC least now. He can make he's got the perfect division. I mean,
the best thing when the Dolphins signed him a couple of years ago, I asked people that I respect in the league, I called around to say, what is this guy? Because again, so many teams never made the playoffs. He's always been like that bridge guy. And they said, listen, the thing about Ryan Fitzpatrick, great guy, great character guy, and it's the most fun you'll have losing 11 games in a season. You're going to have so much fun that you'll forget that you went 5-11. And sure enough, that's how it was here in Miami. And then actually they started winning some games last year and almost made the playoffs. And that's why I really felt bad for him, because they ended up one game. And of course, he got COVID and he couldn't play in that last game in Buffalo. Oh, that had to crush him. That had to crush him.
Yeah, Tua, I don't know. I was high on Tua, not so much anymore.
I think you it's been 1 year. You got to give the guy a chance. And I think this is what I've always said about Brian Flores. And I don't want to sound super political, but Brian Flores knows that coaches in the NFL don't get a lot of second chances, let alone black coaches in the NFL don't get a lot of second chances. So for him, he came here to Miami and they told him, hey, you're going to lose we want you to lose. And I think as a coach, the DNA of Brian Flores, that's not in his DNA to lose to begin with. And I think he knows I'm not going to get a second chance. If I come here, go 1-16 or 1-15, it doesn't matter if we had an agreement or anything like that. So I think the fact that they won 5 out of their last 9 games 2 years ago, and they had a chance to make the playoffs. That's why he sat Tua's ass down because to him is I come from a winning environment in New England. I'm here to win, because I don't know if I'm going to be a head coach tomorrow, next year, 2 years from now, and I'm certainly don't know if I'm going to get another opportunity again. And so I think he wills people to win. And if you don't perform, you're not going to play. And I think that's what it was with Tua. I mean, you could tell when Tua didn't get the opportunity to start at the beginning of the season, that's when you could tell. I mean, if you really know football, because we're not at the practices. We think, you have the insiders we're not there. The fact that he couldn't get on the field tells me he could not grasp the offense during practice. That tells me he could. Maybe was it too fast for him? Was he grabbing the concepts? Who knows? And it wasn't until halfway through the season where you could tell he started to grab the concepts, and it showed on the field. But then he had an offensive coordinator that kind of put the chains on him, and that's why Brian Flores is now on his 3rd offensive coordinator in his 3rd year as a head coach. Flores isn't going to play. If I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose with my guys. I'm not going to take any chances. But I think with Miami, when you see their schedule next year, that's a tough schedule.
It is a tough schedule.
So all of a sudden they can go back to 6 wins easy. They can go back to 6 wins, because you still got to play the Bills twice. You still got to play the Patriots. Still got to play the Jets. They're playing Baltimore. It's not an easy schedule next year. It's almost a playoff schedule.
Well, we got to win with Tua now, Jimmy.
Right. That's right.
We'll see. Tua jersey ready.
Right, with all those
Tua might be a Matt Leinart, the next Matt Leinart. So he was good in the college, but in the pros, I don't know.
Rams,
another lefty. The
Rams, we got Stafford. We're ready. I'm ready for the season to start now.
Oh, I think it's going to be great. Oh
man, I can't wait for that.
Are you a Ram fan, Jimmy?
It's funny. Growing up in LA, when I was there when the Raiders left and the Rams left. That's how I got into gambling. So NFL, my team is the team I bet on that week. So I'm a fan of the NFL.
There you go.
I can't say that I'm a Dolphins fan or a Rams fan. I mean, I enjoy betting immensely, and I'm really good at betting in the NFL. So I don't really have a team because, like I said, I'm from LA. We went from 2 teams to 0 back to 2. But it's good to see, it was good to see the Coliseum, the old girl, have one final run, with that Rams season, and SoFi is amazing. And obviously the Super Bowl is coming back to
That's
LA.
right, this year.
We've never been inside the stadium, which is crazy.
Although I've been there, I've been on those grounds. I've been on those. Betting those parlays and those exacta bets at Hollywood Park,
Oh yeah, those.
But I haven't been there. I've been there, but I haven't been there.
Exactly. We could tell the kids that, we've been on this ground before it was this stadium, them horses running around.
So that casino and everything like that.
Did you go to Santa Anita too? Both?
Oh yeah. I mean, listen, my mom in 1987 bought a condo because she won $15,000 chariot horse racing at Los Alamitos.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I remember thinking I grew up in Hollywood. I remember thinking Los Alamitos it wasn't the end of the world, but you could see the end of the world from Los Alamitos. It was so far. I was like, where are we going? Where is Los Alamitos? Where is this place? And I remember when she won 5th, and I remember it was just her and I, okay, a woman in her late 30s in 1987, and me walking around with a bag full of money because they were like, you want a check? And my mom was like, yeah, check, cash. Dile cash. Dile cash. Cash. $15,000. And my mom was like, okay, you keep an eye. If somebody's following us, I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do if somebody's following us? It's not like the Normandy Casino where you get jacked just walking out the door, but yeah, it's crazy. Los Alamitos chariot racing.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Those are the days.
Los Alamitos. Yeah. Shout out to 256 South Lafayette Park Place. Right between Beverly and 6th Street. That was our spot. Nice little condo. My mom paid $500 a month in mortgage.
Did you guys use the green paper for the horses? Remember that little green? What do they come in, like the Daily News? The LA Times had that green.
It was. I think it's the Daily Racing Form.
Daily Racing Form. Right?
Yeah, Daily Racing Form.
They called it the green sheet, and it was inside the Daily Racing Form. I
just remember going my
mom would always tell me this. Listen, the horse that takes a crap right before the race, that's going to there ain't no analysis.
I mean,
And my mom would be like, keep an eye. Let me know which horse takes a crap before the race. 4. Okay, 4. That was my job. I was the crap watcher. Nothing has changed.
That makes sense. It's a light load. You got to let. Yeah. Not the one that has chorro, the one that's taking a big masa.
Okay, that's the one. That's the one.
That's hilarious. Man.
Oh, we gotta go out when you come out to LA or we go to Miami. We gotta hang out, have some cigars.
Absolutely. Yeah, maybe you come out here because LA is like, I feel like an unfrozen caveman next time when I go to LA. Everybody's like, you can't smoke, can't do this, or can't be loud, can't without. I mean, the whole city of Santa Monica is smoke free. Eso, what's going on?
Well, that's why we got to go back to the hood. Forget the Santa Monica. We're gonna hang out there for it, right? Let's go back.
Even Glendale, when the Americana went up, I was like, what is this? I get you a good deal, bro. I get you a good deal.
Bro,
I get you a good deal. System of a down for everybody. I get you a good deal with the Armenians.
I get you a
tracksuits, smoking and drinking coffee all day. Yeah, my brothers. I don't get you good deal, bro. I get you best deal.
Best deal.
There you go.
I get you best deal, bro. Eso.
I have the hookup, bro.
You come to my place. Come on. I get you a tracksuit too. What are you, X-large?
Man, you know LA very well, huh?
Little bit.
Just a bit.
I miss it.
Yeah. I love going to Miami too. Florida it's a great vibe there. It's a cool place. It's a cool place. It's different, it's Latino represent big. It's just different,
What it is, what I always told people about Miami, first of all, is barely in the United States. You're barely in the United States.
You just made it.
By un pelín. But the thing about Miami is what I've always felt is like there are really no rules here. People do whatever they want, like even like with the vaccines, right? I don't know if you guys have had the vaccines or if you're on wait lists or whatever. But here, you just walk up to a pharmacy and you say, "Hey, come on in here. I'm not 50. I don't have a doctor's note. I'm not a firefighter. I'm not. No pasa nada. Come on. Bing. Okay, good. No se lo digas a nadie. Okay.
In LA, you have to know somebody. You know, that's how we get the.
LA, no,
exactly.
We have a list, no, and then okay, yeah. Well, you know, come back in 7 years. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you misspelled your name, so that no, not today.
No, I mean the thing about Miami, it is I've always said this about Miami. It is a sunny place for shady people. That's
so true.
That's the best way I can describe it, man. You know,
sounds like Glendale, California.
That's it. Yeah. I'm Cuban, and I remember as a kid thinking, like, you know, all the rich white people moved to Beverly Hills. Well, all the rich Cuban people moved to Glendale. So that's like, to me, you made it when you moved to Glendale. I go, well, where does Juanito live? Oh, he lives in Glendale. Well.
Glendale Hill.
Mira. Glendale. Bueno. Al lado de la galería. No, up in the hills. Up in the hills. Bueno. All the way up on Brand? Okay. Yeah. Well, you need to be friends with his kids. Okay, okay, Mom. I will.
Yeah, there you go. Your mom wouldn't say no for you spending the night at their place.
No. Oh, but I went to Eagle Rock. Eagle Rock. No, get out of Eagle Rock. No.
Yeah. Too close to Highland Park.
Funny, because I grew up in a Cuban Filipino neighborhood, so all my girlfriends were Filipino, and my mom, God rest her soul, she's a saint, but she was crazy as bat poop, and she would tell me, "Oh, hey, why don't you ever date a Cuban girl?" And I'd look at her.
In LA?
Where do we live?
I'd look at her and her two sisters, and I'd be like, why don't I date a Cuban girl? 1, 2, 3. Usted está loca para carajo. Una Filipina ahí, tranquilo.
The flip side. You're over there with the flip side.
Lumpia, some pancit, some halo. I'm good.
San Miguel lights, all that stuff.
Good.
That's hilarious.
And some Pacquiao.
That's it. And they're all related to Manny Pacquiao. It's crazy.
They're all of them.
Yeah. Primo,
6 degrees of separation.
That's it. Manny Pacquiao's the guy.
That's funny. We got to do a show, JRod, with we talk about LA, which is it'd be funny in the show.
Anytime, man.
We got a lot of funny.
Fun. This has been a lot of fun, man.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
You got to do it again. So, my aunt used to wash clothes and iron clothes with the lady who started Porto's.
Really?
She just passed away. Like maybe.
Yes, the lady that started Porto's just passed away.
They opened up another port. They opened up more locations.
And by the way, where was the first Porto's? Glendale.
That's right.
Money Cubans are in Glendale.
Well, there's Glendale, and then the other one is Brobank. Let's call it Brobank now.
Brobank. I get you best deal, bro.
Bro, right here, Brobank or Glendale. We gotta send some out there to have fun with Miami.
Please. That's what we gotta do. Next time there's an LA Miami game, you send me your pastelitos, I'll send you my pastelitos.
There you go. That's for sure.
Well, JRod, we appreciate you being on with us, man. This is a blast.
Enjoy the show. Much success. I need one of those hats, by the way.
Oh yeah, we gotta get the hats. We'll get you one of these hats for sure. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's funny because I when I wear the hat, the lady stopped me at TSA. I was a month ago, whatever it was. It was like, "Hey, where'd you get that hat?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm on the show. This is the show." She goes, "I need that hat. My husband, all he does is talk shit about sports all day long. He thinks he knows everything. I need to get that hat." I was like, "Send me a message. I'll get you that."
Love it.
So cool, man. We'll rep it in Miami. Gallo Ocho, right there, South Beach.
That's it. So, plenty of gallo.
Un cortadito. But yeah, Jimmy, it's been a blast, man. Once again, Jim Rodriguez with a JRod experience and 5 reasons to bet. Go check it out.
Yeah, you can hit me up on Twitter and Instagram, JRod Show, JROD Show, JRod Show. Hit me up. I'll tell you what my bets are. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 5 reasons to bet. So tomorrow, Wednesday, We'll have a new one, of course, Friday. Of course, it's tournament time. Always lots of good stuff. We have some fun. We keep it light. We keep it fun. Smoke some cigars. Hashtag YTS. Ya tú sabes.
Ya tú sabes. All right, man. Thanks a lot, Jimmy. It's been fun. Angel, it's been fun like always, man. And finally this week, do we get to do Michelada Fridays this week?
Yes, we're doing Michelada Fridays. Soon we're going to be doing live Michelada Fridays. Like we got the idea from JRod over here, because I seen the live show with the Cuban cigars at a restaurant. So Michelada Fridays this Friday, and we'll be there. So it's going to be good.
I'll call in. I'll have a smoke and some drinks.
Yeah. And we always close out the show with this, JRod.
Yeah.
So it's all about what?
Well, for him, for me, it's all about the you, baby. It's all about the you.
Thanks, guys.
That's another one.
But that's a different show.
Exactly. All right, Jimmy. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, Jimmy.
All right, fellas,
Take care, guys.